how would your everyday life experience feel like if your obsession with beauty no longer stresses you out? And it doesn't mean you no longer care about an external appearance of yourself and other. But the kind of beauty I'm talking about here is the beauty that lies at the very fundamental level of your life. But the question is, what is it? What is that beauty? And how can we reach that deep spiritual level of beauty? Yes, there are great concerns, but no worries. That's what this video precisely answers, based on the wisdom of the Lotus Sutra chapter 11 titled The Appearance of the Jeweled Stupa. So if you're looking for a group of Buddhist mentors for your spiritual journey, please know that toward the end of this video, I have bonus information for you. But that wouldn't make sense if you skip ahead, so please watch the video throughout till the end. That said, let's start with watching sunrise. So how did it make you feel? You're perhaps moved by this encounter with the beauty of this overwhelming vastness of the nature. Let's talk about it first. So this is your experience of beauty that's different from just seeing something beautiful. Okay? In your normal observation of beauty, you feel a distance between you and the beautiful object. Okay? It is this distance, the sense of separation, that makes you desire that beautiful object over there and jump on it on impulse. But if you realize that that beauty is you, then you won't jump on it, because in that awareness, you already know that that beauty is equally here rather than only there, right? So seeing the beauty only there, but not seeing here, that's the tragic beginning of your suffering. How can we solve this? The end of suffering is a moment of appreciating the present, appreciating what is here and now. That's where the Buddhist popular concept of mindfulness terminology kicks in. This is what a Buddhist group such as Risha Kosekai is so good at doing in a guided manner. So there's some more information about them in the description box below. Let's say you see somebody who is very beautiful, and because of the contrast you make, you think you are not beautiful. Perhaps a familiar scenario. I do that as well. But I want to say, shake it off. Who told you that? People around you told you that? Or that person told you that? They're not, in that case, seeing you at all. But I'm seeing you because I embraced the teaching of the Lotus Sutra. So I see you in a different ways from how people normally see you. That's what we are getting at today. From that viewpoint, you are super beautiful, amazingly, breathtakingly beautiful, okay? Be reminded of that. Then the next important question is to ask, how can you see that beauty within yourself? So, discover and meet with your true self. So that's why it's important that you continue or start practicing Buddhist ideas into your everyday life and join my study sessions. And some sessions are free and you can join. And as soon as you see your beauty, next you've got to help them see their beauty and beautify everyone, blossom with all sentient beings. That's the Bodhisattva vow you made and forgot in this life. That's the vow made in the past, but forgotten in the present, and yet to be recalled again in the present because of your encounter with the Lotus Sutra. To start a conversation about a topic, beauty obsession and Buddhahood. That's kind of the leadership that we need today. So now you have a better sense of where I'm going with this today. So let's get to the core of our conversation. During holidays, for instance, why do you choose to go visit Rocky Mountains, national parks, power spots by spending time, money, and energy? So let me know what was the most beautiful place you've been to and share how that moment made you feel. I do this travel when I can as well, and I'm obsessed with beauty. So we're all obsessed with beauty. Why? Because beauty overwhelms us and moves us. So what we are desiring is an overwhelmingly moving experience. That's what we are wanting. But nobody answers the following question. Why are we obsessed with beauty and have desire to be overwhelmingly moved? Why does that desire arise? But according to our discussion so far, one thing we know for sure is that our desire for beauty is powerful. But whenever you feel it, hang in there. Don't let your heart completely blown away there yet, right? Let's be aware that this is a sign that desire for beauty is actually touching the fundamental aspect of our lives. Beauty is calling in that way, our innermost nature. It is touching something fundamental about our truth. That's why we feel good to encounter with beauty, like a natural environment and so on. But normally, most of us get caught up by the superficial aspect of the beauty and get lost and become attached to it. But in my reading of the Lotus Sutra, this superficial encounter can be your opportunity to dive into deeper level and find the unshakable, unmistakable, absolute beauty within yourself. That will be your awakening moment. So in this sense, what's actually happening in our obsession with beauty is that we are unconsciously sort of awakening our innermost aspect of our true self. So it feels good to see that beautiful sunrise, to be overwhelmed by the beauty of the vast natural environment, or to see someone beautiful, right? It is refreshing, moving, calming, relieving, time-stopping, breathtaking, awe-inspiring, and all that. But how do we feel that way? Well, because all of these beautiful qualities are unconsciously resonating with the innermost aspect of your true self. So, recently someone in the Lotus Sutra lab, my discussion group, told me this. So that's called sympathetic resonance. If one string of the guitar makes sound, that vibration travels and rings the other strings of other instruments. If the vibration frequency is the same, so your experience of beauty is sympathetically resonating with the spiritual vibration of your true self. In your experience of beauty, you are in a way like orchestrating a great symphony with the entire universe. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? Imagine this and find out the face of the conductor. Who's that? That's you. You see your face conducting the orchestra. That's our Buddhist practice. So this reveals a shockingly cheerful truth in a very good way, right? The beauty of natural environment reminds you that you are the one that is refreshing, moving, calming, relieving, time-stopping, breathtaking, and awe-inspiring. You desire an overwhelmingly moving experience of beauty and feel at home with it, because that's where you are coming from. That's you. That's why it feels right to travel to the beautiful nature and get obsessed with beauty. But don't let yourself be caught up, please, by that superficial, but it's very, deep level of moving, but the Buddhist Lotus Sutra level of awakening is much more than that, even much more than that. So don't be caught up. It's great. Cherish that, but go beyond that. That's what I want to say in this video. All I want to say in this video. Well, not all, but 85%, let's say. Okay, so find the true beauty in the innermost level of yourself. That's where the Lotus Sutra will be guiding you. Okay? Once you realize and embrace this, you'll find beauty in each moment of your experience in your everyday life, including the lowest point of your life. I remember when my father passed away 5 years ago, a week before he was in the sick bed, and he said, "Hey Kevin, I'll be gone soon, but this is the best moment ever in my life. Everybody responds to my needs. I'm so cared. But to me, he seems to be in the worst, the lowest point of his life. But for him, that's the best moment of his life." So he found some kind of beauty in every moment of his life. He embodied the Lotus Sutra to me. Okay, toward the conclusion, at the time of your birth, you forgot how absolutely beautiful you were. So what you need in this life is a strong, mind-evoking click or reminder of this forgotten truth about your beautiful true nature. The Lotus Sutra came to your life as a perfect reminder so that you will recall this forgotten aspect of your truth and retrieve your true self. In the Lotus Sutra language, this universally shared nature is called the eternal life of the Buddha, or Buddha nature. To me, the Lotus Sutra is the very powerful and effective tool to realize this enlightenment, because it goes through all the past life and the future life and the continuity of all these moments in a one single moment of my experience in the present time. So it really gets beyond or penetrate through the time structure, which has been supposedly the condition for all sufferings to arise, right? If you conquer the time structure itself, that's the quickest, fastest possible way to overcome and end the suffering of all beings. That's how the Lotus Sutra is amazing, guys. Finally, we can talk about the Lotus Sutra. So for instance, when you look at the outset of the chapter 11 of the Lotus Sutra, you see a greatly adorned, huge stupa that is taller than the distance between Florida and California emerges out of the earth all of a sudden. And in the last video, we ended up with the question, what does this stupa symbolize? That's where we were left off. So we're going to see the answer today. Okay, here is the bonus information part, which is the juiciest part of this video, probably. So according to the genius of the mind in the 20th century, Reverend Nikkyo Niwano, who is the founder of international engaged Buddhist movement called Rishikosekai, about a symbolic meaning of the huge stupa emerging out of the earth, he says this: "The precious stupa that springs up from the earth symbolizes the Buddha nature inherent in all human beings. The Buddha nature, that is, the essential nature of human beings, is perfectly endowed with the true, the good, and the beautiful. Thus the precious stupa, made from 7 radiant jewels, rises high into the sky and shines with indescribable beauty. It is also significant that the stupa springs up from the earth rather than descends from above. The Buddha nature is unmistakably within us, though we think of ourselves as filled with defilements and uncleanness. There's no need to seek it elsewhere. All we need to do is realize it." So what is he saying? The beautifully adorned huge stupa is a symbol of your Buddha nature, and you are super beautiful, calming, welcoming, breathtaking, and awe-inspiring and all. How would your life look like if this was the truth that you accept as your forgotten reality? If you need more context about chapter 11, by all means, please check out my last video about the storyline of the chapter. And today's video does not represent any official view of Rishikosekai, but if what I was saying resonates with you, and if you're looking for a Buddhist community, I think it's worthy to consider. Rishikosekai may be the best candidate as your spiritual home. They can help you discover the Buddha nature of you and everyone else, and they are really good at doing that. not in a special training session or something, but by using everyday life experience. Your encounter with your difficult boss, mean colleague at the office, some difficult members of your families when people around you are grumpy and so on. This kind of raw experience as the very precise site of your bodhisattva practice. That's effective, efficient, right? Wouldn't that be great if you can see your Buddha nature even when you are undergoing low points of your life? Well, probably the Lotus Sutra will be saying it is actually only because you are undergoing the lowest point of your life that you can see that extraordinary truth of the Buddha nature. Yeah, here we go. Thanks, Dad. All right, excellent work, old friends. That means you. I'm so proud of you that you reached thus far. Here's another bonus gift for you, 2 of them. Today, we practice symbolic reading strategy with active imagination for understanding the Lotus Sutra. But this is not just symbolic, but rather, as I said, symbolic active imagination, okay? So if you want to know more about how to read the Lotus Sutra's imageries and symbols, you can go check out this video created by Richard Kosakai of North America, titled Actualize Your Inner Potential by Modeling the Lotus Sutra's Bodhisattvas. So let me put a link in the description box. This is a great lecture, and let me know what you think about this in the comments. And they also recently published a podcast. How convenient it is! Podcast called Richard Kosakai in a Nutshell. I mean, as one of my best friends and I was saying recently, in a nutshell. And it's a 70 minutes long podcast. 7 minutes long in a nutshell. I love it. Let me know how you think about this as well. Alright, so let me include the links to these files in the description box. Alright, thank you for watching. Stay tuned.